Welcome back to Nifty 50 Photographers, and in today's video I'm going to give you 3 slightly unusual tips that will help you with your black and white photo editing. Now when I say unusual, I don't mean do something wacky with the sliders in Lightroom. I mean something that you could do actually without any software. Anybody can do this, and they're techniques that will just help your brain reset a bit and see your photo in a better light. No pun intended. Tip number 1. Now, my first tip is you have to have a vision of what your photo is going to look like as a finished photo, as a finished edit. And sometimes I struggle with that. Now, don't worry, we all struggle with this. And how I get around that is I create a sketch of it. Now, I know a lot of you will say, I can't draw, and I'll hold my hands up too. I can't draw at all. So what I do is I trace over the photo. I use an app called Procreate. And if you want to see how I do it and create the sketch, I'll link to a video up here. But effectively, all I'm doing is tracing over the photo. And what it helps you to do is it gives you a clean sheet of paper to start from. So rather than your mind being set on what you can see already in the photo, you start with a clean sheet and then you start to add in the elements. You can see that in this photo I took of the Tyne Bridge in Newcastle down by the quayside. Now, what was in my mind when I was taking this photo was several photos I'd seen of the Brooklyn Bridge, and I felt this was a similar view and I wanted to try and recreate that kind of image. Here's a typical image of the Brooklyn Bridge from Josh Miller, which I took from Unsplash. Now, when I started to edit this photo, I was really struggling. Even though I had quite a clear vision in my mind of what I wanted, I just couldn't get there. So I abandoned it and I started sketching it, and you can see this is what I did in the sketch. Now straight away I then realized actually the 2 cars in the foreground were cluttering up the image. They needed to go, so I needed a tighter crop. And as I started to build up the image, I then realized how much of it I wanted in detail in the photo, and other areas that I thought they need to be dark and have less contrast in them so that they don't clutter up the photo. And that's how I got to this final image. It was straightforward. After that I could see exactly how I wanted to edit it. So start with the end in mind, start with your vision. Once you've done that, you can move on to my tip number 2. Now my tip number 2 is simply stand back. Now what I mean by that is literally get up from your desk, walk away from your computer and look at your screen from 8 or 10 feet away. So I walk back to that plant that you can see in the background of this video, and that's about 10 feet from my screen, and I look at the image from there. And that will help you to see straight away which areas are out of balance. You can make it even more effective by actually squinting at your photo. Sometimes I put on my reading glasses so the whole photo is out of focus. And in that way you can see which areas are missing some contrast or which areas need to be lighter and darker and so on. But it will really help you finalize how your photo should look and get it all in balance. So that's tip number 2, stand back and walk away. Once you've done all that, you'll be probably getting close to the final edit of your photo. And here's my tip number 3. So for this, what you need to do is be patient. So don't rush and export it and bang it on Instagram. Just leave it alone. Go away and do something else. Take the dog for a walk, have a cup of coffee, whatever it is you do, just leave your photo alone for a few hours or a bit of time. Let your brain reset. And then you can come back after that time and have another look. If you're completely happy with the photo then you're done and you can do what you like with it, export it, print it, the lot. Alternatively, if you're not happy, then you might want to make some final tweaks, and it'll be those tweaks that really transform your photo into a masterpiece. So that's my tip number 3. Just leave it for a bit of time to develop in your brain as well, and come back to it after that and see if you're happy with it. There's 3 tips for you. Let me summarize what I said. So first of all, have a vision. Start with your end in mind. Secondly is to stand back, walk away. Imagine you're in a gallery or something looking at your photo on the wall, and that's how you want to see it. And have a squint at it, see if it looks in balance. And then finally, just leave it alone for a bit when you've got very close to the final edit. Come back and look at it a bit later on and see if you're completely happy with it and tweak it if you need to. I hope you've enjoyed those tips and found them useful. If you did, please like this video and do remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. In the meantime, go and have some fun with your camera. I'd love to see some of your black and white edits, which you can share on the community tab or on the Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook page. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.